Man, we had so many good times. I was kinda hoping we could have some more. But, wait, what? Oh, I see. Saw a girl from a long time ago. Oh, wanted love, but she let me know. No, now my heart's broke. Now my heart's broke. Well, hey, you may not like me that way, but we can still be friends, right? Right? Wait, no, where are you going? Come back! The lunch bell rings and I find myself disinclined to make my way up to the roof. After all, I'm betting Ren knows where Emmy is, and if that's the case, then I doubt she'd bother going up there. More to the point, I doubt we have any sort of scintillating conversation if she did. Chances are she'd prefer to be alone up there anyway, so I don't accidentally ruin her train of thought or something. Unfortunately, I don't really feel like heading to the cafeteria either. Guess I'll go to the library instead. I need a new book to read anyway, having finished my other one yesterday before bed. Maybe I can find more by the same author. I love libraries. Toshokan wa daisuki desu. Toshokan ga daisuki desu. They smell like dust and paper and ink. All these stories and facts and opinions crowded together in one place makes the air come alive with potential. I'm not sure how to navigate Yamaku's library yet, having mostly stuck to the books I brought with me, so I searched for the librarian and asked for help. I suppose she's not... Can't believe it. Yuko, looking rather distracted, suddenly emerges from one of the aisles. Excuse me. Oh, can I help you? Actually, I was looking for a book. So am I. Advanced Cryptography. We just got it in and now it's gone missing. I really want to read that one. Cryptography. Yeah, that is, this guy I knew. No. Not sure how to describe it. Skip to the end. He got me interested in cryptography, only now the book's gone and I think it's been stolen. Sounds pretty terrible. Yeah, especially because now I have to search the whole library for it. Even though it's probably not even here. Yo, Kenji just swiped it, dog. You seem busy. A little. She dashes off down another aisle and I resign myself to finding my own dang book. Plenty of choices. Oh, come on, how did I get lost? These aren't even printed books. They're all in Braille. I guess it makes sense in a school like this, but honestly, it's a little annoying. I'm sorry, is someone there? A lifting voice drips out from behind one of the cubicles set up for research. As I approach, I see that Lily's been reading a book while I've been stomping about the aisles. Oh no, I should be apologizing. I didn't mean to make so much noise. My, is that a you, Sal? I've not heard from you in quite some time. I was beginning to think you'd forgotten all about me. Sorry. Lily laughs in that refinement of hers and shakes her head. I'm only teasing you, Sal. From what I hear, you've been busy. Morning runs with Emi Ibarazaki and lunch on the rooftop, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Guess word gets around pretty quickly. That and I can't coax poor Hanako on the roof anymore. You three are always up there claiming the spot for yourselves. She chides me gently, though it's pretty clear she's just teasing me again. Still, I feel an odd need to apologize. Sorry, we could eat lunch somewhere if it's a real problem. Oh no, I wouldn't worry about it. Hanako and I have other things to do at lunch too, such as reading the library, as you can see. Oh, Hanako's here too? I didn't see her. Lily smiles a bit. She smiles. Oh, she's around somewhere. But I'm surprised, Sal. You're in here instead of up there. What brings you to the library? Well, Emmy's ill, so there's no lunch on the rooftop to keep me occupied. Lily raises an eyebrow at my statement before giving another chuckle. My poor Ren must feel left out. My, it's not like that. Ah, but I'm sure it isn't. Emmy tends to be the life of whatever group she's in. It's a shame to hear she's fallen ill. Will she be okay? Somehow I get the feeling that Lily's just inquiring out of politeness, but I respond anyway. Nurse thinks so. I'm going to swing by and see how she's doing after school myself. Another raised eyebrow. My, what a noble gentleman you are, Hisao. It's nothing really, just checking up on my friend after all. Ah, so it's just friends, is it? How disappointing. I blush, glad that Lily can't see it. But somehow she knows that I've been flustered by her comment anyway and laughs. I'm sorry, Hisao, I'm teasing you again. Please do tell Umi that I hope she feels better, won't you? A glance at my watch reveals that I'm very nearly out of time to find my book. Of course. Hey, I've got to find a book before lunch is over, so I better get moving. See you later. That's probably not the best phrase to use. Lily, however, takes my gaffe in stride. Until we meet again, Hisao. I never do find the book I was looking for, but I walk out with something else instead. My stomach growls slightly, letting me know that I should have had something for lunch. Oh well. I'll grab something before I visit Emmy later. It seems as if time has decided to slow down for the express purpose of annoying the heck out of me. Class feels like it drags on for ages. I suspect that my being consumed with worry probably has something to do with it. Blessedly, the bell rings and I dash out of class, drawing a few raised eyebrows, I'm sure. I spent the majority of my day fretting as unobtrusively as I could. Even though the nurse thinks that Emmy is perfectly okay, I want to see for myself. It doesn't take long to get to the girls' dormitory and make my way to Emmy's room. Standing outside her door, I suddenly pause. What if she's resting? I hate to wake her up, especially if she's still feeling ill. Then again, if she sleeps all day, then it could throw off her sleeping schedule. But rest is important if you're ill, isn't it? I can't decide what to do, so I settle for standing outside the door looking like an idiot. Then I hear Emmy's voice from behind the door. Thanks for your concern, but I really am okay. Is she talking to me? I'll see you at practice tomorrow. Guess not. Still, clearly she's not asleep, so I can knock without worry. So why is this clenched feeling in my gut? I wasn't nervous about dropping by the other day, so why today? Granted, I still haven't really had time to figure out this newfound interest in Emmy's well-being. I don't have a lot of experience in the matter, of course, but certainly this seems to go beyond feelings of mere friendship. Oh my gosh. This is not the route I wanted. Because now, this is a little too close to home. Just a little bit. But could I take that step? Could I even bring myself to risk what I have right now? I mean, it's enough to be friends with her, isn't it? Either way, shouldn't I just open the door and see how she's doing? That's why I came here, right? What if she's not dressed yet? The image that flashes through my mind causes my heart to skip a beat. Literally. I should probably not ever think of those thoughts again, not if I want to avoid a heart attack. I suddenly realize I'm still standing in the hallway looking like an idiot. Emmy still seems to be in the middle of a conversation, but I knock anyway. Hopefully she won't mind the interruption. You worry too. Come in, the door's unlocked. So it is. I open the door and step in, which is about where my thought process comes to a grinding halt. Emmy is sitting up in her bed, her head tousled from a day spent asleep. I think this is the first time I've seen her without those familiar beads in her hair. Her gym shirts and bloomer, obviously hastily pulled on before I came in, are creased and folded from less than proper storage. Her legs lay bare on the sheets. I've never seen Emmy without prosthetics before, yet there she has slender legs terminating in stumps just before her knees. But as odd as the sight is, I find myself more captivated by everything north of the waist. It seemed that Emmy had finished her conversation with whoever was on the phone with her, and is now watching my reaction closely out of her one open eye as she wipes sleep from the other. Far from being embarrassed is rather one of a surprisingly wide yawn, one perhaps appropriate from such a small mouth. A grin that for a brief moment seems almost flirtatious tugs at the corner of her mouth as she takes the sight of me in. I can do nothing but remain in a state of fluctuating between fear, confusion, and just a tiny bit of lust, like, just hop on it. Emmy hastily sweeps her hair out of her eyes, fixing it back into place before addressing me. You seem a bit caught off guard, Hisao. A wave of laughter erupts from her, and I find myself grinning and rubbing the back of my head ruefully. Sorry, I've just never seen someone so disheveled look so attractive. Never seen you without your legs on. Never seen you look so, sorry. Emmy giggles in and moves to sit up a little straighter. I'm caught up in the movements of her shirt, very nearly losing myself. Oh my god. I was wondering what your reaction would be. The nurse called and told me you were going to drop by, you see. And I know you haven't seen me, well, you know, without legs. I responded in a tone of casual surprise. Oh, you don't have them on? I didn't notice. This is almost the truth. I very nearly didn't. I'm not trying to be suave or anything, mind you. Somehow I think Emmy would get offended by that. Says she sticks her tongue out at me and chucks a pillow at my head. But I definitely catch the pillow and take careful aim before throwing it. Emmy laughs and rolls to one side, dodging my shot. The shifting of her shirt distracted me enough so that the next thrown pillow hits me right between the eyes. Oof! I retaliated, of course. And once I retaliated twice, well, a war was bound to break out sooner or later. And really, when Emmy appears to have far better aim than me, well, it's just a matter of time before I had to resort to a suicidal charge. Gotcha. Bam! Smack! Biff! And once the charge was accomplished, well, of course, I'd have to wrestle the pillows away from her. With that kind of struggle, of course, we wind up in this sort of position. Wait. And so I found myself staring down at her from my position atop her. She's grinning, eyes sparkling with amusement, maybe a little sweaty now from our tussle. Remember the medicine! He's gonna kill you! He's gonna kill you. Her chest is heaving up and down, sucking in air. The small bit of my brain that is not currently enraptured by the sight and smell of her observes that she must still be ill, because her stamina is not what it should be. We stay that way for a while. I'm not sure how long, because everything seems to go fuzzy. Everything that isn't her anyway. Her eyes meet mine, and deep inside them I almost catch a glimpse of... what, fear? Longing? Hope? Emmy? A cough suddenly convulses her, and I'm almost stumbling in my haste to get off to apologize for everything. Sorry, I shouldn't have. It's fine, it's fine. She gives me a reassuring pat on the shoulder. So, what brings you here? She's still breathing hard, and that causes her voice to shake slightly. Well, before I was so rudely assaulted by pillows, I came to see how you were doing. Wham. This earns me another shove, and I very nearly fall off her bed. Emmy's eyes sparkle again. I wonder how I never noticed how attractive they are before. Consumed with worry, were you? Her tone is mocking, haughty, teasing. She throws her arm across her forehead, dramatically, grin still apparent from underneath. Couldn't bear the thought of me laying deathly ill? As we both recover from our brief wrestling match, Emmy appears to fall back on teasing me. Well, I wouldn't say consumed with worry, but after you didn't show up this morning like a total wuss. Yo, gotta. Emmy pouts, crossing her arms penitently and sticking her lower lip out. It's not my fault. Nurse wouldn't allow it. Sure you wouldn't. I completely believe you. Emmy sticks her tongue out again. You're such a jerk, Sal. So how was your day then, eh? Did you enjoy slacking off? Not really. The phone woke me up pretty early on. The phone? Yeah, the captain of the team called to make sure I was doing okay. Also to let me know it was okay to skip practice. Good. At least she wasn't alone all day. Someone checked up on her. Although I can't help but think that it should have been me. Oh, that's good. He really keeps an eye on you, huh? Emmy shrugs. It's his job. Part of being the captain means you know where your team members are when they're not in school. Still, I guess it was nice of him to call, huh? Yep, sure was. Emmy yawns and shimmies down into a more comfortable position. So, how was your day? Kind of uneventful, you know? I went ahead and ran by myself and talked with the nurse about how you were doing. I meandered through the day's events, none of which are particularly engrossing. That's when I'm distracted by an arm finding its way across my waist. It seems that Emmy fell asleep while I was talking, so I draw her blanket to cover us. She's rolled over onto her side, and now one leg is thrown over my legs, effectively trapping me. Hey, it seems a shame to wake her, but I have things to do. I gently shake her, but in response she only tightens her arm's grip on me and sighs a little. My resistance to the position crumbles rather quickly. The feeling of her body steadily is both calming and incredibly stimulating at the same time. My breathing cannot decide if it wants to relax or speed up. Relaxation wins, and I find myself putting an arm around Emmy. I think I'm in love. The words slip out and hang in the air unnoticed. At least I hope they've gone unnoticed. Emma whimpers weakly through her dream, and her grip suddenly tightens again. For the first time since I've known her, I see tears running down Emmy's face. It feels like my heart is about to break. I instinctively tighten my own grip and stroke her hair in what I hope is a soothing manner. Words of comfort, meaningless in the situation, spring to mind. Maybe I should wake her. Or are you supposed to wake people having nightmares? I can't for the life of me remember. The decision is taken from me as Emily suddenly jerks awake with a cry. Dad! This is more than I think I want to hear without her knowing. I quickly sit upright and gently shake her shoulder to stir her. Hey, you okay? What a silly question. Huh? What? Hey, Sal. She shakes her head as if to clear it and quickly wipes her eyes. You had a nightmare, I think. Emmy shuddered again and glances up at me a little cautiously, as if unsure whether or not she's actually up. Yeah, I guess so. You want to talk about it? A speedy internal debate seems to be going on in her head, which resolves itself with a shrug. Nah, I don't really remember much of it. I'm pretty sure she's lying to me, but somehow I don't think I should press the issue. Emmy shuddered again and turns toward me, looking a little sheepish. Sorry for falling asleep on you like that. I keep my voice as soothing as I can. Hey, don't worry about it. You've been ill. Yeah, I guess that cold medicine's just made me a little drowsy. I guess so. Emmy does not strike me as the sort of person who'd fall asleep at the drop of a hat. Ren maybe, but Emmy's far too energetic. Emmy gives a half smile at my response, and then just like that, she's back to her old self. Or prepare yourself for tomorrow morning, Asal. We'll have to go twice as hard to make up for it today. But I went running this morning. No excuse. Oh, fine, I'll be ready for you. Emmy nods, satisfied. Good. I think this is my cue to exit. Well, I better get going, especially if I want to get enough sleep for tomorrow. I hop out the bed and head for the door. Hey, is Sal? I pivot neatly on my heel and face Emmy. She opens her mouth to say something and then another first. I see her falter slightly. She closes her mouth and opens it again. Thanks. For dropping by, I mean. You're kind of the first visitor I ever had who wasn't Ren. Now that's surprising. I would have figured that Emmy would have people dropping by all the time. She's certainly popular enough, or so I thought, always talking to people in the hallways. Emmy hesitates again. Thanks for staying around after I... Well... Look of pain flints across her face. You know. It helped. She brightens back up and waves cheerily at me. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you later. I'm just about to exit the door when something makes me turn around again. Hey, Emmy. Anytime you need to talk, let me know, okay? Emmy seems taken aback by this offer. Her grin gets even wider. Sure thing, Sal. See you in the morning. I exit Emmy's room with my head in a whirl. Should I have even left? Was she really okay? I want to turn around and march back down the hallway, but open the door and tell her. Tell her I love her. Tell her I think she's beautiful. Tell her that I'll be there when she needs me. I want to stay with her, to hold her close as she falls back to sleep. How many nights has she woken up like that, only to find that nobody's there? I want to be that person she can be with when that happens. It's a silly thought, I know. We don't know each other that well, do we? The whole idea, while exhilarating, also makes me feel worried. Worried perhaps that I overstep my bounds. And now to add to my troubles, it seems as if Emmy herself has an interest in someone else. This track captain of hers who seems so interested in her well-being. True, I've only seen the two of them together a few times, but that doesn't change the fact that they seem better suited to one another. There's really nothing to be done about that. I need to take my mind off this whole situation. I've got homework to do. Maybe that will distract me. I don't even feel like doing the jingle. This is too close to home. Ugh. And my throat's hurting. But only... An added restlessness has left me feeling fairly groggy this morning. The events of the previous day kept intruding upon my mind. The memory of how Emmy felt against me. The memory of our wrestling match. And most bothersome, the memory of her nightmare. She was in so much pain. I can't stop wondering what it must be like for her to wake up with nobody there. The shower shocks me awake with hot water. Awake, but still worried. What will happen today? Will things just go back to normal? End of the episode? Back to the status quo? There was a connection yesterday, something that nearly pushed us past the boundaries of normal friendship. Would that have been so bad? My mom goes back to the look in Emmy's eyes after our pillow fight. It almost seemed like she was daring me to go on. Almost. But I can't know for sure. Anyway, the track captain's probably first in her affections. But even as I say that, my mind is already snorting derisively. I was just looking for an excuse, a reason for everything to go wrong, a reason to not try. Oh man, this is I gotta push forward. It's not as if I've even seen the two of them together outside of track practice. And clearly he's never visited. Emmy said as much herself. If they were close, surely he'd visit. I'm such a wuss. I ought to just go for it anyway, damn the consequences. That's what Emmy would do, I think. Hell, I know that's what she'd do. Which is partially why I'm convinced there's no interest on her end. She hasn't acted either. Maybe because of this track captain. It's possible she's got a bit of an undercredit crush thing going on. But who would be able to clarify their relationship? It sure as heck can be Emmy. She'd probably just laugh and ask why I wanted to know. And I'm not ready to answer that yet. Ren would probably just give me some cryptic answer or something. And then with my luck, she'd just ask Emmy. Would ask me why I wanted to know. And I've already covered that problem. I wonder. Could I get away with asking the nurse? He seems pretty protective of Emmy. I'm sure he knows something was up. And he owes me for not letting Emmy know he forgot to tell me about her being ill, so he'll keep quiet. What if he asks me why I want to know, though? I can shake him off. Just say I'm curious as a friend. He'll buy that, won't he? Of course. That's settled then. After the run, I'll talk to him while Emmy's waiting outside the office. There's no sign of Emmy when I arrive at the track. Is she still too ill? I decided to give her 10 minutes. I'm a little early, and she was ill yesterday, so if she takes a while to show up, it shouldn't be surprising. Still, I'd hate to just waste my time, so I can occupy myself by stretching and pacing back and forth anxiously. What if I went too far yesterday? What if she doesn't come because she's embarrassed? What if... You're early again, Hassan. I'm impressed. Just like that, I feel some of the tension leaving my body. Emmy seems to be bright and cheerful as usual, with no sign that she even was ill the other day, much less had a less than restful sleep. Still, I have to ask, sleep well last night? It's just a throwaway question, small as talk. The sort of thing people ask any someone they bump into a cafe while getting their morning coffee, but not for us, at least not for me. I don't know if Emmy realizes that I'm actually concerned about how well she slept last night, but the question does give her pause. After a short moment of what seems like her genuinely pondering this, she nods. Yep, sure did. Was it because of me? Did I actually help? Or are you just saying that to get me to start asking questions? Good to hear. Emmy grins and begins warming up. So, ready to begin? Poof, am I ready? Of course I'm ready. I was born ready. Emmy laughs at my bravado and we take off running. I keep a steady pace the whole time, breathing steadily. I still feel dead at the end, but at least I don't gasp like a fish out of water now. Emmy is positively beaming after the run today. Nice job, Asal. You're improving. You'll be half as fast as me in no time. The last line is delivered with a teasing grin that I've grown all too used to. Oh, how exciting. Emmy begins to run her sprints while I take a cooldown lap. She's really pushing herself today. By the time I'm done with my lap, she's laying across one of the bleachers looking exhausted. Goodness, not pushing a little too much today, are you? You did just have a cold, you'll recall. Emmy gives an annoyed snort and sits up. Bah, I'm just trying to make up for lost time, that's all. I went twice as hard today, you know. A good run always gets the kinks out, you know. Clears the mind, too. Oh? Emmy nods vigorously. Yep, it's a great outlet for that sort of thing. She does not explain further and I don't ask. I suspect no real reason she went so hard today. Being sick had nothing to do with it. Something's bothering her. Maybe the nightmare. Maybe something else. But it's not my place to pry. She told me she wanted me to know. Dang it, this is too close to real life. This is too close. Gosh, I know an Emmy. I really do know an Emmy. And I feel like this is way too similar for me. But the only difference is I feel like oh man. Anyways, let's continue. You have no idea. The sincerity in her voice confirms my suspicion. The only problem is, even though I know she'd tell me she wanted me to know, I still want to know. Something on your mind then? Emmy doesn't seem surprised by my question. Instead, she shrugs. Nah, there's nothing worth getting worried about. She seems as if she's trying to convince herself as much as she's convincing me. I open my mouth to ask if yesterday is responsible for her current state of mind, but I think better of it. Too much risk for taking the question the wrong way. Besides, I'm not even sure myself what to think about it yesterday. Really, I can only get about as far as how it felt to have Emmy sleeping next to me before my brain shuts down. Having her before me now, covered in sweat and looking wryly at me, she's making it difficult to think. Yeah, I hear you. We better hurry to see the nurse. We're running short on time. Aren't we always? Emmy laughs at this, a dry chuckle that seems most un-Emmy-like. Too true. For a brief moment, she looks old, worn down by some old hurt. But just like yesterday, I can almost see her shouldering the burden and straighten up slightly. And then she's back to being Emmy again. Come on then, Asal, race ya. With a sudden smile, she darts off. Hey, no fair. I take off after her, knowing I won't catch her, but not caring. Even if there's no chance of catching her, I'll still run after her. Emmy's waiting for me at the door as I arrive. Well, look who's finally shown up. Yeah. Enjoy your victory while you can. Emmy grins as the nurse pokes his head out of the door. Well, there you are. Come on in, Asal. And what has become a familiar routine by now, he checks my blood pressure and heart rate. A bit fast today, isn't it? Yeah, I kinda raced Emmy here. The nurse laughs. That's never a good idea. He leans in to whisper to me in a conspiratory manner. I don't know if you've heard, but Emmy's a bit of a track star. Her reeled back in mock surprise. Nani? She never mentioned it before. The two of us share a laugh. Did she do okay today? Cold seemed to bother him. Why don't you ask her? He rolls his eyes in exasperation. Of course I'm going to ask her too, but she'll tell me that she didn't have any problems, regardless of whether or not she did. So I'm asking you because you're her friend and would probably tell me she had trouble today. When he puts it that way, it makes a lot more sense. She seemed pretty good today, if a little more tired than usual. She was already feeling better when I dropped by yesterday, so I'm not that surprised. The nurse nods, though I notice he tenses slightly when I mention yesterday's visit. Well, that's good to hear. I figured it was just a 24-hour thing. Emmy tends to recover quickly from colds and the like. Hey, speaking of Emmy, are she and the track captain? Well, you know. A look of suspicion crosses his face. Why do you ask? Well, it's just that they seem kind of close, and I was just curious, you know? And I never asked her, because that would be kind of embarrassing. So far, so good. Now to really sell it. Besides, I think they make a cute couple. The nurse laughs. Well, I don't suppose you're the first to think that. But I think I can say with some certainty that the two of them will never do anything like that. Certainly. Oh, dang. Return. Yep. Not that I could tell you, of course. Confidentiality and all that. Yeah, right. You just like holding a secret over my head. That too. Right, get out of here. I'm a busy man, you know. I roll my eyes at his last statement and head out the door, motioning him to go in. The whole time I'm trying to keep from doing a celebratory dance. No, do not get happy. That's that. Don't get happy, sir. I remember when I got happy, and it was just explosion. But you know what? You're Hasao. You're freaking Hasao. You got this. The two of them will never do anything like that. That's precisely the sort of thing I want to hear. I'm half tempted to make some sort of a move on Emmy right now, but I think the nurse would probably disapprove. Besides, I still don't know exactly how Emmy feels about me. I mean, it's obvious that she cares about me as a friend, but something more than that? I can't be certain. Even so, I can't help but feel hopeful. I just need to figure out a good time to tell Emmy exactly how I feel. Even so, I can't help but feel hopeful. I just need to figure out a good time to tell Emmy exactly how I feel. That puzzle should keep me occupied for the rest of the day, at least. The rooftop is completely deserted. Normally I could count on Ren to be up here before me, but she's strangely absent. I wonder if she decided to accompany Emmy to the cafeteria for once. That seems pretty unlikely, but it's all I can think of right now. Part of me wants to go look for Ren, but a far larger part of me is too pleased with the way the sun feels on my skin to care. I pick idly at my lunch while I wait for Emmy and Ren to show up. It does not take long for me to hear the sounds of someone coming up the stairs. I wait until the door begins to open before talking. Took you long enough. Keeping me waiting for you, honestly. The two of you are, huh? Well, that's odd. The only person standing in the doorway is Emmy, who looks mildly confused. What do you mean, huh? It's me, you know, Emmy. We run in the mornings. She grins and I feel my heart jump slightly in my chest at the sight. Yes, I knew that. I'm just confused. Where's Ren? Emmy's grin is replaced by a rather guilty-looking expression. Yeah, about that. I kind of, sort of, gave her my coat. Oh dear. Am I at risk too? It would make sense after all. Emmy and I were in close contact the other day. So what did she and Ren do that got her ill? Steady on, old lad. Don't go down that road. Ren's just probably got a worse immune system than me. Emmy seemed shocked by the comment. Like she hadn't considered that before. I hope not. I feel terrible if you get ill because of me, Sal. Oh man, I think I feel a fever coming on. Emmy looks horrified and then I quickly shifts to a more angry expression. It's Sal! You stop getting sick this instant. I won't have it. Impulsively, she seizes me by the collar. Are you listening to me, Hasal's immune system? Get your butt in gear. I give a smart salute. Duly noted, ma'am. Emmy steps back and nods, satisfied. Good. You are not allowed to miss any of our morning runs after all, but you missed a morning run. Emmy crosses her arms and looks at me haughtily. Yes, but that's a special case. It was me and not you. That's not an explanation at all. Emmy looks flabbergasted. You're kidding, right? That explanation makes perfect sense. No, it doesn't. It's a blatant double standard. Objection! Mate! Igati! I don't see what that has to do with anything. Oh, fine. Emmy seems pleased by her victory. Anyway, is Ren going to be okay? She's not terribly ill, right? Emmy shakes her head. Nope, she'll be fine. I got her some cold medicine that should help her. Although I probably should have made sure she didn't try to take all of them at once. She's done it before, you know. Somehow I don't find that all surprising. I doubt Ren is one to pay attention to maximum dosages and such. You should probably check in on her later, then, just to make sure. Emmy shrugs. I'll stop by after practice. She'll be fine until then. I nod, figuring that line of conversation is over. The only problem is I don't know what else to talk about. So, got any more track meets coming up? This is a terribly roundabout way of trying to see if she's free on the weekend. If she's free, then maybe I can ask on a date or something. Well, it's something I can get myself to actually form the words. Emmy shakes her head. Nah, not for another couple of weeks, I think. The season's winding down. Oh yeah, I came in right in the middle of things, didn't I? Does that mean exams are coming up soon? I should probably look into that. What do you do on the weekends if there's not a meet? An eyebrow goes up and Emmy gets a teasing look on her face. You're awfully inquisitive today, aren't you? I shrug and hope it looks casual. Just making conversation. I don't know what it's like to be a track star after all. Pfft, flattery. It'll get you everything. She waves a hand idly. I'm not actually that good, you know. You just so happen to see me on a good day is all. You liar. Yeah, but humility is the sign of a good athlete. At least that's what my dad used to say. She shrugs and tries unsuccessfully to hide the rather troubled expression her face has taken on. Hey, what's up? You seem bothered by something. Amy starts to deny it, then sighs in defeat. I wonder if she's too tired from being sick to get herself to deny it like usual, or if she actually just trusts me enough at this point to open up. Well, you remember last night? Do I ever? I settle for nodding, however. That's not the first time that's happened to me. Actually, I get them kind of. She pauses, as if suddenly occurred to her what she's doing. It's almost like she's breaking some sort of personal rule here. But she starts up again, choosing her words carefully. Well, not often, but on occasion. It's just been one of those weeks where that's what's happened. A sigh escapes her, and she looks terribly flustered. I reach over and give her a hug, which unlike last time doesn't seem to shock her. Instead, she seems to relax as my arms wrap around her. We stay that way for a while. Hey, you know, I was serious last night. You really can't talk to me if stuff like this is bothering you. It's always difficult to do this sort of thing solo, you know. Amy smiles and breaks the embrace, but stays leaning on my shoulder. Thanks, Asao. I'll be fine, I think. I can already see her reassembling herself, getting ready to ball it all up again. Guess that topic's closed now. So hey, given any more thought to that career survey? Can't say I have. I don't tend to plan very far ahead, you know. Although I suppose I could at least start looking into college, huh? I shrug. I suppose unless you're serious about that pirate thing. Let's check. Pirates didn't have much need for universities. Unless there's like a pirate university out there somewhere. Amy giggles and starts to look a little like her old self, but there's a new element to her expression. Impish. That's how I'd describe it. Amy looks impish, looking up at me with her head nestled into my shoulder. Would you come with me if I ran off to be a pirate? Of course I would. Who in their right mind would pass up an opportunity to be pirates with you? Well, when you put it that way, I'm not sure. She giggles again. I notice that my heart seems to have sped up. It's probably due to Emmy's proximity to me. The hint of strawberries again. I can't help but grin as I gaze down at her. She's happy again. Hey, Asao. If you're going to kiss me, you should probably do it soon. I think the lunch bell is about to ring. Got him! I'm pretty sure my mouth is hanging open and shut. All I can manage is a strangle, huh? This amuses Emmy even more. You were thinking about it, weren't you? She sits up, bringing her face level with mine. I probably enjoy it, you know. You're a really... Well... She briefly composes herself, looking like she's about to say something important. If you hadn't figured it out by now, I think I've developed a bit of a crush on you. You're gonna have to do something about that. This time her grin short-circuits several important thought processes. At some point I turned toward her, and at another point her arms moved her around my neck. At yet another, my arms wrapped around her waist. I'll be danged if I could tell precisely when that happened. Because at that moment, there's only a voice in the back of my head yelling at me to kiss her. It's like, do it, nigga! Do it! This is the perfect chance! Don't be like Darian. If they offer, don't pass it up. You just do it. You just do it. Don't ever pass it up. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just... I look into Emmy's eyes. There it is. The thing I saw yesterday on the bed, it's there again. It suddenly strikes me that she's worried that I'll reject her. What a silly worry for her to have. That's pretty good art. I was like, yeah! Wait a minute, is this the second victory of heartbreak? The second victory of heartbreak! Ah! Her lips taste faintly of strawberries. She leans into the kiss and her arms tighten around the back of my head, making sure that I don't pull away. Not that there was any danger of that. There's a churning feeling in my gut. The world falls away. There's just me and her on this bench. My arms tighten, drawing her waist closer, entranced by the feel of her. I inhale her scent, my mind trying desperately to memorize everything about how she tastes, how she smells, and how she feels. The ringing of the bell snaps us both back to reality, and we break the kiss. Emmy's cheeks are slightly flushed, and she seems to be catching her breath. In her defense, so am I. We stand there for a few moments, trying to wrap our heads around what we just done. I gotta put the Donkey Kong victory music here. Although this piano music is great. But yeah, we did it! Emmy's the first to break the silence. So, Want to grab dinner after I'm done with practice? What a coincidence. I was about to ask you the same thing. Well, actually, I suppose it was going to be some kind of a proper day on the weekend or something, but the thought was there, I think. Emmy gives me a playful shove. Yeah, right. You were still in shock from how incredibly awesome I am at kissing. We began to head down the stairs back to our respective classrooms. Hey, I didn't see you talking immediately afterwards either. That I didn't. See you after practice, Sal. She leans in quickly and gives me a quick kiss in the middle of the hallway, sending me into another brief state of mental freefall. Just like Star Ocean 5! Right? The dumb tuss? No? Okay. As I head into my classroom, a giggling Misha greets me. Why, He-chan, you romantic you. Did you confess on the rooftop? Did you? Or actually, I think it was the other way around. This sends Misha into a fresh fit of laughter. Young love is so unpredictable, isn't it? This being Misha, I suppose I should have expected her to tease me over this. I guess. Before I can really respond, Muto's enter the room and Misha skips off to her seat, giggling all the while. I suspect that I'll get a lot of that sort of conversation now, especially seeing as how Emmy kissed me right in the middle of the hall. But somehow I don't care about it. For the first time since arriving here, my heart feels light. Oh man. We're on the next chapter. Perspective. Yeah, so I assume early on, that's when the playthrough changed for me. My head's in a spin all through Muto's class. I'm going to have dinner with Emmy. Who wants to be my girlfriend, no less? A date. And then she kissed me. That kiss, I keep going back to it, playing it over in my mind again and again. I gotta take notes. I had to take notes. Apply this. Everything about that moment felt so right. My mind drifts off, lost in thoughts of Emmy. Nikai? Hello? Seems like I've drifted a bit too far. Huh? What? Nani? Egad, you contracted some kind of amnesia. Someone get the nurse. The class chuckles at Muto's antics. Sorry, sir. Won't happen again and all that, right? Exactly. Muto brightens considerably. Well, lovely to hear. I hate to have my star pupil slacking off, after all. I've been doing well, but I hardly qualify as a star pupil, I think. I'm fairly certain that this class is the sort that everyone does well in. It's just memorizing formulas. True to my word, I managed to pay attention for the rest of the class. Nikai, may I have a word with you? I wonder if I'm in trouble for earlier. Sure. Am I in trouble? Muto looks genuinely confused for a moment. Beg your pardon? He tilts his head to one side and thinks for a moment. Oh, that. No, you're not in any sort of trouble. There's just a question I want to ask you. What's that? Nothing terrible. I was just wondering what your plans for after graduation are. Are you going to university? Yeah, I guess. I can't really see a reason not to go. Given any thought to what you'll study? Not really, no. I figure I'll come up with something when I get there. Muto laughs. Taking things as they come, eh? I'd argued against it, but that's how I did things when I went to university. Well, not really. I knew I'd go into science, I just wasn't sure which one. Ended up with physics, but could have just as well have gone for astronomy or what have you. Actually, I did go for chemistry first, but there were all sorts of things. Muto trails off and I frown slightly. It takes a minute for him to recover his train of thought, and I wait patiently for him to continue. So anyway, I did a lot of physics as well, because I had interest in that, but I wasn't sure if it was for me. So I went back to chemistry, and here we are. Yes? He smiles at me enthusiastically, as if waiting for me to confirm that yes, here is where we are. Somehow I get the feeling that Muto had a plan for this conversation, but I'll be darned if I can't figure it out. I'm sorry, I'm not following you. Muto frowns and rubs his chin a bit, looking perplexed. He then snaps his finger as if he remembers what the point of all this was. Right, yes, you. Me? Yes, you should look into studying one of the sciences. You're fantastic at it. Unless you'd rather just go into math. Muto makes a sour face. Not a big fan of straight math. I always like the experiments more than the proofs. You saying I should study science at a university? Muto seems thrown off balance by my suggestion, my question. And anyways, I think I'm going to end this right here, guys. Thank you for watching. My heart's broke.